is a lot slower, but it says my upload speed is a lot faster. But man, it was like that this last night to the point that eventually it just cut out and I couldn't talk over Discord. So I'm testing that out while I'm talking to you, because I'm supposed to start broadcasting for one of the iRacing leagues that I'm in, and if I don't get this fixed, I can't broadcast for them because they their broadcasts are like professional level. Like if you turn on a TV and watch an actual race, it's on the same level as that. They have two commentators. They have a producer in the background that's changing things around. So if my Discord is being disrupted, that means my internet problem isn't fixed, even with the new router, which is a big issue. Am I still coming in and out? Okay. Okay. Hopefully, like maybe if I reset the router once, that'll stop happening. But I apologize. Um, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you about. Like, so what? So what's? Oh, I did ask you about it, but like more specifically, what all you got going on next week that's gonna make it rough? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And you're still working for NATO. Oh, you're judge. Oh yeah, I forgot you said that. Okay. 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 So what kind? Well, because I don't like one. I don't want to put you in a bad spot. I don't want to. And I know you would stop me and be like, "Oh, I can't tell you about that." But like in a broader sense, what kind of cases do you deal with as a judge with NATO? Is it war crime shit or is it like okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 So yeah. So the UCMJ essentially. Yeah. Jesus Christ. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Mm, yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah. But no, but that's a very important and like interesting. Like it's an interesting. Yeah. It's like it's part of it's a what's it called a gear in the entire machine, but it's a very important gear. It's very interesting because like having been in the Marine Corps, you hear a bunch of wild stories about Marines getting in trouble. Um, so it's interesting to kind of put a link from that. Really, it's I don't know what it is, but Japan for us, there's always a problem between us and Japan. Um, there's one, yeah, dude. I'm glad. I'm glad we have that reputation somewhere. Oh yeah. No, but like the so the issues with Japan, like I'm gonna give you an example of what I've heard, and like I said, like I'm saying before, this is hearsay, so take it with a grain of salt. But there was a Marine who got drunk, as Marines do, made it to did not make it back to base. He ended up he thought he was at the barracks, which I guess had rooms there, and fell asleep in a room, but it ended up being like a resident of Japan's house. And he must have been he must have been like three sheets to the wind drunk if he thought a resident of Japan was his barracks. But anyway, and fell asleep in the bed. And when he woke up, he was being arrested because he was being charged with rape because that was a woman's bed. Like that was one of like the people who own the house's daughter's bed. And even though she wasn't physically there, like he was in her bed. So over there culturally, like you quote unquote like raped my daughter. And our policy there is that if you break a local law like that, like a law that's specific to that place, you serve out your term there, and then you get tried by the UCMJ. Yep, go for it. Oh, they aren't. I thought they were a part of NATO. That's wild. Okay, so that makes sense.
Yes, 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 yes. No, over here, as a marine, if you are not like forced into a mission or dispatched into a mission right away, you don't feel to walk outside of the battle zone. To, I don't know, to rent a park or to live like a normal human being.
Yeah.
So yeah, in case you get into problems, I am obliged by the law to make a report on that specific marine, to present that report to the Federal Bureau of United States.
Mm-hmm.
Then, if they require that soldier to be recalled home and to be trialed, he's going to have his paperwork done and send it to the United States. We are not going to imprison our allies soldiers, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that'd be bad relations.
you can do that yourself if you want to, because they are your citizens. So
Yeah, in the Marine Corps, they'll definitely do that. Like we have issues with Marines locally that will like Marines. Like I had a buddy who got drunk and he was trying to get back to his car, to which was probably for the best that he didn't get to his car, but he fell asleep in somebody else's car that he did not know. And they came back to their car and there was this grown ass man sleeping in their car. So um, he got in big trouble on base. He got kicked out, but um, that's neither here nor there. Uh, no, that's interesting. I wish I would have thought that through. I never thought about Japan not being a part of NATO. I just assumed if we were in um
Japan, Australia, New Zealand, Philippines, Taiwan, and some other countries over there. They are our allies, but as in an international alliance, part of NATO. It's just North America, you and Canada, and Europe, most of the states.
okay.
That's NATO. Yeah.
That's nuts, dude. I don't know why it took me so long. I was today years old when I learned this. I cannot believe that. Um that's
Take your
that's
time. No problem.
that's super cool. That's super cool. That's super interesting. That changes a lot of the dynamic that I did not think about prior to this. And it makes a lot of sense as to why so many Marines are getting in trouble in Japan.
Because they are part of an accord, like an alliance,
Yeah.
but Japan can impose, and you as well, if you have Japanese soldiers, for example, in America, and they misbehave or they do stupid shit and they get penal case, they are going to be imprisoned in America or in Japan. However, in NATO states, we are going to send them back to their own country, right, to
Yeah.
be tried with the charges from here, as an example, right?
Yeah.
But not to be judged over here because they are not our citizens. They are yours.
Yeah. No, I get it. And I get
If they have dual citizenship, however, so both American and Romanian, as an example,
mm,
yeah, they are going elsewhere here, but they are American.
yeah.
But if they don't, they don't. They are going to be tried in their own state.
That's wild. That's so funny. Um
Very, if you ask me, it's completely fair.
oh no, yeah, absolutely. And it honestly everybody kind of it keeps everybody honest because there's some countries, and I know the reason for it is like some countries have different levels of um, punishment that societally in different countries wouldn't work.
Yes, yes. No, the electricity. So the accusations is very, very
Yeah, yeah,
very, very bad.
that's like because I was talking to I don't know if it was Raj. There was somebody like there was an American again. Not American, like it was like I think it was like somebody's spouse. Somebody's spouse was involved. I don't know if it was a victim or the person who did it. But they ended up like it essentially like hit money somebody else. The person was from the United States and they had it was like that kind of situation where they had to fly back to the United States and the punishment for the United States was it wasn't what that person did. Like they ended up thinking about the person came back to the United States as well. They got like I think they got like 9 months probation or something stupid. And I was like, well, that's garbage. But then yeah.
New fast flat
So
for
it
you.
was like yeah, that's not on the list. That's not on this list. That's more like I think it's weird. Because if that sounded more like a situation where it was like because if the person who did it, they had either relation or like a higher up. Like I'm talking at the general level, like the staff level, and they got like publicity and stuff like this. But that's just part of a lot of the bureaucracy and tactics and that. That is. Yeah. I really wish I had. So who is this, and why are there so many vowels in your name? It, is this a friend of yours, Bear? Oh, like oh, a Romanian brother, huh? Oh, god damn it! Sorry about that. I pressed the wrong button. My bad. I was not on the right program when I did that. I apologize. Uh, no, that's cool. You guys meeting on? He's one of the northern. What is it? Northerners or Southerners? Is it- Oh, centrist. Oh, got you. That's cool. The oh, that's worst. You're not a gypsy, right? Don't let Bear know you're a gypsy. Oh, he's actual Dracula. Okay. No, yeah, no, yeah. Honestly, Bear's got the lore. No, I didn't know that because it's in the United States. It's perpetuated that Transylvania. Yeah, I'm fucking around and finding out. Uh, no, that's funny. Yeah, that I actually did know. Um, like it's just so weird. I don't know why he's so linked to Transylvania here in the United States. Okay. Yeah, yeah. No, there's a big there. Yeah. Let me see. Bram. Sorry, I keep spelling his name wrong. Did Bram Stoker ever visit Transylvania? Thank you, Google. Yeah, he never visited Transylvania. Yeah, yeah. He was the. I think it was like the. Oh, that's probably where the confuse. Yeah. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So how do you say old lad's last name? Vlad Tepes? Or I pronounce it Tepesh. Okay. Um, sorry, I said that like I was fucking Spanish. Son of the devil. That's cool. Order of the Dragon. Okay. About the Ottomans? I thought he was fighting them. Oh yeah, he got loved by him, and then they were trying to ask for more tithes, and he was like, "Nah, fam." Yeah, yeah. That's what that's what he's getting. That's yeah. Oh, you're being sarcastic. It's hard to tell with your accent, dog. Like I take everything you say as word because you sound so fucking serious all the time. Like it's hard for me to read your sarcasm, dude. Yeah. Everybody loves a good underdog story, dude. Yeah, what one stick in one end and out the other. Fuck, dude. No, so I'm reading on them, and obviously this is Google, so like I'll take your word over this, but like it says Vlad II had won the moniker Dracul for for his membership in the Order of the Dragon, a militant fraternity founded in Sigismund of Luxembourg, King of Hungary. The Order of the Dragon was dedicated to halting the Ottoman advance into Europe, which makes sense. That checks out. So is any of that incorrect? Yeah, yeah, like the Habsburgs, yeah, like like they weren't. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, now we have the Rothschilds that are even worse somehow. Um, so yeah, sorry, I was just reading up on it. So what's funny, and this is probably why I feel so akin to you guys on this. Like my dad's from the Western Isles in Scotland. Um, and but we very much have relation, um, not like hereditary relation, but relation in the sense of like our families helped um, our version of Dracula, I guess you would say, not as brutal, but Robert the Bruce and William Wallace. Like we were one of the families that helped house them off the coast of Scotland while they were in exile from the mainland, and we also like our family also helped fight with them to keep the British out. So it's funny about the English crown and one of sorry yeah the English, my bad, the British is the Isles, but English. So sorry, I'm I'm American. Give me some leeway. The the yeah, the English. I apologize. The English now, the crown, the crown family is more German than they are English. Because in like the 1850s to like the 1880s, like right before World War I, they were running out of families to marry to keep the royal bloodline pure. So the was it the king of Prussia? Yeah, the king of Prussia had like fucking 18 goddamn sons and had to marry them all off. Hmm. The Kaiser. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's insane, dude. That's funny. Bear's like, hold on, check yourself, buddy. Like, you guys are still part of us. Like, you better knock it off. We don't take insurrection here. No, no, not at all. This is not a threat. Like, yeah. If you, this is not a threat. This is a gentle persuasion. Like, dude. So when uh, so when I first met Bear, he like I one all my every interaction was a miscue because I heard his accent. I'm like, he sounds kind of Russian. So I asked him in Russian, like an idiot, if he spoke Russian, and he's like, what was that? I was like, Russia. You're not from Russia? He's like, no. Like he was like, I was like, oh fuck. I'm like, all right, my bad, dude. And then I was like, all right, my bad, dog. Like, and then like I was like, okay, well that was shitty, but like I'm not trying. Like I was trying to like fuck. I'm like, you sound. I'm like, where are you from? He's like, Romania. I was like, is Dracula from there? Because you sound like fucking Dracula. And he's like, actually, yes. Yeah, he's like actually yes, I am from where Dracula is from, and I was like, oh fuck, like okay, so and then like it just went downhill from there. So afterward, I like messaged I messaged Waj, and I was like, dude, where is this? Like, what is this dude's story? Like, what is up with him? He's like, oh well, like he was, he was SWAT, and then he was and then he was Romanian special, Romanian special forces, and then and yeah, like same, like he broke it down in ways I would understand, and then he was like, yeah, then he was special forces in Romania, and and now he works for NATO. I was like, so you're telling me I came in to a fucking chat and was fucking saying this dude sounds like Dracula, and he was Romanian special forces? And Waj is like, you did that? And I was like, yes, you jackass! Like, what the fuck? You couldn't have told me to shut up? Like, come on, bro. And no, no, and I know now, but I was like, oh my god, dude, this dude's gonna fucking murder me. And I was joking with him. I'm like, he probably has a drone above my house right now. So fast forward, I went to Dollar General. I went down the street, and I opened my Discord on my phone on the way home, and I'm like, oh, Bear's on. Like, Bear's never on the same time I'm on. So I get in the chat, and I bring up the fucking stream that him and somebody else were streaming, and it's fucking drone footage. And like as soon as I open up, I was like, please don't tell me that's my house, Bear. Please don't tell me that's my house. And he's like, oh no, this is a game. This is a game. I was like, it's not a game if I'm on the receiving end of a tomahawk. Like, it's not a game. Like, it's so funny. But like I've never felt like threatened in the sense like you're actually like actively trying to kill me. I just thought it was hilarious. Yeah, you're trying to be sarcastic, and it's over here sounding like I'm regular. Or like, it sounded like I'm taking you as like taking every word you say is like seriously. Um, but no, dude. It's just it's such a funny running joke. Like I love it, dude. It's so funny. Um, no, like hearing that you're no, no, no. You're go ahead. No, no, dude, you're good. Like I never took it like as a like you were actually like trying to threaten me. I just thought I was like, dude, I was so fucking rude to that dude, and this dude has done so much with his life. I need to be nicer because because if I do piss him off, I don't know what's gonna happen. Because I was oh yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. That's like when I used to work at the bar. When I was working at the bar, I like it was I would probably get threatened like every day, and like 99% of the time I'm like, swing, dude. Like I don't care. Like I will beat your ass. Um, and that's not out of ego. That's out of like experience. A college dude comes, like I was in the Marine Corps. I've done jujitsu. Like I know how to fight. Um, yeah. See, so yeah. And most of the people that walk into the bar have never been in a fight. They're just like they're drunk off their ass. There was the yeah, dude. The one time I felt like actually threatened was there's a motorcycle club out here called the Mongols, and right, and they are what are Mongols, like yeah. So like there's so in motorcycle culture, you have like your average rider, which might be like a part of a motorcycle. Like if they are a part of a motorcycle club, they're a part of like Hogs, which is like Harley owners group. Um, and then you have what are called one percenters. And I got big into this when like Sons of Anarchy came out. Like Sons of Anarchy came out back in like back when I was like 20. So I was very naive and like very like much into like I grew up watching my dad watch like a lot of spaghetti westerns and mob mob gang shows like The Sopranos or like fucking Godfather. So I was very much like interested in gangs, not so much like joining one because I couldn't relate. Like I wasn't Italian, I wasn't like I was Scottish. Like we didn't have like a the But then like when that came out, I was like, oh dude, like I could join a motorcycle club and like have that kind of camaraderie and like that like go do like illegal shit and get away with it, blah blah blah. Obviously that's not that's that like I said, very naive view on gangs.
Yeah,
Um,
that's youth.
yeah, that's youth. Um, well, one day I had four Mongols from the New Orleans chapter come up, and one of the rules is that you can't wear your cut, like your leather vest. The slang for it is a cut into into the um into the bar. So anybody that came up with a
Isn't that only for the biker?
yeah, like the military has the same policy where if you're coming on base, you have to take your cut off. And when I was growing up, I lived in Arizona, and there's a place called Laughlin, Nevada, which was literally like 40 minutes away from where I lived. It was just across the Colorado River, and in one of the casinos, like we would have a bike week every year. It was called the Laughlin River Run, and people would ride their bikes from Phoenix to Laughlin, Nevada. Well, in one of the casinos, there were members of Hell's Angels, which you might be more familiar with.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
yeah,
that Hell's Angels and the Mongols,
yes,
and they got into a firefight in a casino in the United States.
yeah.
I think two people died, and they weren't even members of either party. So the cut rule was implemented in Laughlin, so I was like familiar with it. I didn't ride a bike at that point, but I knew that always stuck with me. I'm like, okay, like biker gangs aren't cool. Like that's not cool. It's not cool to be a part of that. Like that, it always ends the same way. Like once I started watching all the shows that my dad watched all the way through and saw the way like how it ended for all the characters, that's when the naivety kind of left, and I was like, okay, being a part of a gang always ends one way. Um, so
Usually it ends in prison.
yeah, prison or death. Like those are the only two things that came out of that. So I'm standing here and I got five members of the Mongols standing in front of me, and I was like, "Hey guys, I'm sorry, but you have to take your cuts off." And they're like, "What? Why?" And I'm like, "Because it's house policy that we can't let anybody in with a cut." And they were like, "This is bullshit. This is bullshit. We have to wear our cuts." And I was like, "Guys, like I understand, like I get it, like I'm familiar with one percenters and you guys' gang crew, motorcycle club, right? Like I had to correct myself real quick because I didn't want to call them a gang and offend them because they were already pissed off that they couldn't come in. And I'm like, if you want to wear stuff that says like Mongols with a sweater, that's fine, but the cuts have to come off. And I had to sit there and argue with the sergeant at arms because they have a hierarchy. And I was sitting there arguing with him, and I was like, "Hey man, like listen," because he's like, I was like, "All you have to do is take your cut off. You can leave it here." And that's like saying like that's like telling the Pope he has to leave like one of Jesus's bones with you, and just trust you on it, because like that's their entire identity that they're leaving with you. So I knew that like that wasn't gonna fly, but or you can leave it. I was like, or you can go back to your bike, put it on your bike, or put it in one of your guys' like compartments on your bike, but you can't wear it in. And the guy's like, well, I have to be in there because that's our president. If our president, yeah, their president was just wearing his sweater because he had been there the night before. Um, and I imagine he probably told them before, like, hey, this bar won't let you in with your cut, and they just didn't. They were like, fuck that, we're the Mongols, we can do whatever we want. Um, and I was like sitting there arguing with the sergeant at arms, like not arguing, but I was like trying to be as professional as possible with it. I was like, listen, man, this is a college training wheel bar. 99% of our clientele is just kids in college. If something happens to your president, you can come after me. You can come find me. I don't care. But I can't let you in with the cuts. And he turns to me and he's like, if something happens to my president, we're gonna come for more than you. And I'm like, God damn it, dude. Because I'm like sitting here thinking about my kids and shit. I was like, noted. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, this is what I'm saying. Most motorcycle clubs are like that. Um, that's why I mentioned that. That's why I meant that. That's why. Well, that's why I mentioned they were one percenters because the 1% is important because the definition of a 1%, like the reason that they're even a thing, is because it says it says 1% of the United States population are the ones that break the law. They will literally wear patches. Like all those dudes had patches on that said 1% on them. So the ones that say the most motorcycle clubs are fine, but if it says 1% on their patch, they are one of the bad ones. Oh, is that Waj? Is that Wajy boy? Hello, Wajy boy. We were just catching up. But so that group I was not about to fuck with in that sense because I have to think about like my family and shit. Eventually the president was like, yo, like the president was so funny, dude. The president was like, hey, just shut the fuck up and take it off. Like, I want to go get a drink. And eventually that's when they took off their fucking cuts. But 2 weeks later, I'm scrolling on TikTok and a thing came up where the Mongols, the Mongols of Houston, like the Houston chapter of the Mongols, had like 10 members indicted because they found mass graves of or not mass. I don't know if it'd be considered mass graves, but they found a bunch of bodies outside of Houston connected to gang violence with the Mongols. So I was like, yeah. And the thing is that that would probably be the Mongols' closest chapter to New Orleans. So I wouldn't put it past the guys that I was talking to being so high up in the hierarchy in New Orleans to have done shit like that too. And I was sitting there telling them that they couldn't come into my bar because they had to take a piece of clothing off. So that's where that's like, oh, that fucking sucks. Um, no, no, that's fine. That was just the end of this. That was the end of the story. But like that I was like, um, that scared the shit out of me because I was just like, dude, like this is because I'm sitting here. I'm like, I can defend myself. Like if dudes were like, I know all the entry points of my house. I know what the like. I know what fields of fire are. If I have a better chance of defending myself than most, like you know, like other anybody who's never been in the military in the United States. Um, I can't defend my kids from here. So if they get my name, which probably wouldn't be hard. No, no, no. I don't think they're gonna attack me now because it resolved itself. I'm saying like if I offend them the wrong way, they would put in the effort to do that. You get what I'm saying? Especially with what came about out of that Houston thing. Um, so that sketched me out for like a not too long, but it's still like it's always in the back of my head of like, god damn, dude, that could have gone so much worse. And like don't get me wrong, like I had a gun. Like I always brought a gun with me when I went to work because that was like a really bad part of New Orleans. Like the French Quarter during the day is fine, but at night like it gets really bad.
Yeah.
What operation?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, like so the French Quarter is it's not as bad as it used to be, but um like for reference, one night we had um it was, and I got warned about it before I even came into the shift, but there's a football game, like American football game called the Bayou Classic. It's when two colleges, two black colleges get together, and it's like an old rivalry. Like they were like the first like all black colleges to be established in Louisiana, and they come and they play at the New Orleans Saints Superdome. And my boss told me before. Sorry, go ahead.
I saw suffering and I was reporting it.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to fuck up comms. Um, and I was warned. I was warned before I came in. My boss was like, "Hey, this might be a short night. The second I hear of a shooting or of a fight, we're shutting down."
Yeah.
So um we went all right. Like we went to like midnight, and then the boss came up and he was like, "Hey, there was a fight over at Fat Cats. We're shutting down." I'm like, "All right." So we're in the middle of like trying to get everybody out of the bar. We're like, "Hey, sorry, like we're shutting down early, blah blah blah." People are starting to come out, and these two women that had been in the bar earlier come up, and they're like, "Hey, we we like somebody just tried to rob us. Like we were lucky because there was a cop nearby because there was a heavy police presence during that night. We're lucky a cop came by and the dude ran away, but like." Is there anywhere safe that we can go since you guys are shutting down, like to go drink or something? Blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, home. You almost got robbed. Like, what are you talking about? Go home. You know, like go back to whatever fucking Airbnb or hotel that you got and fucking go drink there. Like, why would you stay out after you've almost been robbed? You're like fucking 110 pounds soaking wet. Like, what are you talking about? So, dude,
Well developed sense of preservation.
yeah, I've never been shot at and turned around and been like, you know what sounds good? Drinking in public still. That sounds great. Like I've been like I'm gonna go home and have a beer, because that was sketchy. But I've never been like I want to drink around more people after I just got robbed. Like fucking morons. But that's
Let's just spend time, or
yeah.
let's get more. Let's make myself more.
Let's make more mistakes that are detrimental to my health. Like that sounds like a good idea. But like there would be shit like that happen like every fucking week, dude. Like there was one time where I was walking back to the car, and because like there like parking's atrocious in town. I'm sure Waj knows because he lives in London, but um or lives near London. I don't.
Yeah, well, I live in London, but no parking is terrible.
Yeah,
I have motorbikes that are
yeah. You keep flexing that like it's cool. Fucking the. I'm just fucking with you, dude. I love you, Waj. I love you, Waj. I'm not trying to be mean. The
To be fair, I do not have a cool motorcycle.
I do you tell girl, dude, that'd be so funny. Like hey, I don't mean to brag, but I have a motorcycle. I have a motor vehicle that's on two wheels. If you haven't heard. And then she rolls up, and you got like a Vespa. That's so funny. But
One goes by Gary now.
yeah. Don't join the Mongols, okay? Whatever you do.
I was gonna say I show up to a fucking riding game. I was looking to see if I could go on track day.
Oh, dude, a track day. I want
I have to get a license.
to, dude. Dude, so Daytona, you know, you're familiar with Daytona Watch, right? They have a all right, so two things. They have a whole race that's just Miatas, which I think is hilarious. And then they have a race called the 24 Hours of Lemons, not Le Mans. And it's just, and we have a track here in New Orleans that it does the same thing. So with the guys that I race with on iRacing, I'm trying to do that this year, or this not this year, but next year. Um, so we can just go fuck around with some $500 cars and go race on a track with a $500 car. I don't know if we have to go buy it or if they provide it, but I'm gonna figure that out by next year. Like it's in March, but anyway, the I was walking home to my car to like a parking structure, and these like there's a big group of like kids, and I mean like kids. They had to have been in high school, max, and two of them started fighting. Well, I walked past. I'm like, I should probably do something about this. And I look around. There's like fucking 19 of them. I'm like, I'm not doing anything about this. So I just like kept walking. And like, don't get me wrong. I could probably take a few of them down, but I'm not taking like. There's a, you know, it's like yeah, it's like how many third graders or how many kindergartners can you kick until you're overrun? You know what I mean? Um, so and I only had 7 rounds in the chamber, or 7 rounds in the gun. So you know, um, and I don't want to be on the fucking news for killing a black kid. That would have been horrible. Um, 13 but 7 black kids. So anyway, so I'm walking away, and you know, there's still a couple tourists out, and they're walking back to their cars, and um, all these kids start fucking running because one of the kids pulled a gun on the other kid. And this fucking stupid ass tourist was like, yeah, y'all better run. The cops are coming. I'm like, bro, one of those kids has a fucking weapon. I don't care if you give if you give that gun to a fucking special operations fucking soldier or a fucking child. A bullet still has the same effect. So shut the fuck up. Cause I'm walking next to you. You know, like, come on, have some fucking common sense. You're in it, but you know, it's just drunk people. Like, but like something like that would happen like probably every week. So, and my girl warned me before I went down there. She was very worried about me getting hurt because of how dangerous that part of town is. But dude, I'm 6'1" with a fucking face tattoo. I don't think anybody's really trying to fuck with me unless they're trying to prove a point. And nobody's really trying to prove a point. They're just trying to survive. So, I quit that job. But you know, it's that the only night I actually feared for my life was the night that the fucking Mongols were sitting there trying to fucking get in with cuts. I did that too when I was around there. Yeah, now I only fix engines, and that job sucks ass. I honestly stayed at the bar for so long because I had so much fun fucking doing it. And it got to the point that like everybody trusted my judgment. Yeah, there's a big bar scene, um, in New Orleans, especially in the French Quarter. Like, there's a bunch of fun bars, um, but the it was so much fun working there because pretty much anything I said went. Because I was the head of security, which didn't come with a big. It didn't come with a big pay raise. Like, I didn't make I made trash there, but the point of having the job was to they made me the head of for reference. Like, they trusted me so much, and I worked there part time. Like, they gave me that job working there part time, and it's supposed to be a full time job. Um, they just did not have like good people to work there because it paid so little. But I was just using it to save up for a lawyer for my kids, so I didn't. You know, it wasn't that big a deal. But like towards the end, they were talking about making me a manager, to the point that like other coworkers would come up and be like, "Hey, dude, I'm voting. Like, if we had it to a vote, like, I would want like you for manager, Thaddeus for manager." And I was like, "Oh," because I like had literally just put my 2 weeks in. I was like, "Oh fuck, oh, I gotta leave, guys. I'm sorry." And like the last, go ahead, Bodge.
No, you're just like, well, I'm heading out.
Yeah, like, hey, I want you to be a manager. Alright, I'm heading out. Um, and like the last night there, I had a beer with it was like myself and a few of the bartenders, and one of them who was like the next in line to be the general manager was like, "You're coming back, right? You're gonna come back, right? You're coming back, right?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. We'll see how it is when the kids go back to their moms." Yeah, and yeah, no, she was but she was really good at her job. She should have been the general manager instead of the guy that was already the general manager, but that's not my fucking choice. They didn't they didn't want me to be a manager because of my face tattoo. And they're like, "Oh, we're trying to put out a certain vibe and blah blah blah, and like we can't have managers with face tattoos." I'm like, "Bro, like okay, so you're going to hire this dude like over like just work with like if the owner would come in and work with us for like 2 days, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, that guy should probably be the manager." Because the general manager had been in his ear for like probably 4 or 5 months, telling him that I needed to be a manager. Um, but I didn't really care that I wasn't that invested in it because I was gonna quit anyway. But so like there was a point where I was a bar back because in order to be a manager, you have to go through you have to be serving all the positions in the bar to understand them better. And I liked being a bar back because you got to split the tips, especially if you worked a double. And I raised like $4,000 in 3 months. So I don't know how that equates to you guys' money, but it was enough to get me a lawyer. Um, so like I was a manager, I was a bartender for a day, or
One of the things that's such a shame about American fucking, I'm trying to think, service culture, where it's all based on fucking tips. So you
yeah.
have made quite a lot more money sometimes.
Oh yeah, it's in a tourist town. In a tourist town, like you,
But it's not earning a proper wage without getting tips is kind of
Yeah, but it's the
bullshit.
same everywhere, like, honestly. In Horeca industry, it's the same everywhere.
Yeah.
The tips is the most important part of the income,
Revenue.
basically. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm not trying to make it like a political thing. I'm just saying like I made an, I liked, that's why yeah, like I liked being a barback. They took me off a barback because I got pissed off because they lowered the amount of tips from because the bartenders were all bitching about it. Um, but I was like, dude, we have 3 barbacks in a major city for one bar, and I only work weekends. We should probably not do that. I'm like, that's a really dumb fucking decision. And one of the other barbacks who was trying to get promoted went back to the general manager with the screenshots of what I had said in that chat, in the barback chat. So they took me off of barback. I'm like, you fucking bitch, dude. Um, anyway, no, there's some shite. That's the other thing I didn't like about it is like a lot of the people that worked down there were very shisty. Like they were very like two-faced when it came to things, like kind of out for themselves. But the thing is like the people that would do that were the people that were always the biggest problem for management. Like the dude that did that would like call out almost every fucking week, but that we couldn't fire him because we only had 3 barbacks. So it was like, fuck, dude. Like, how the fuck do we get around this? Um, but there was there was one night. Yeah, there's always people that are gonna be like that at any job, but it's like 10 times. It's like amplified. It's like in our professions, people will do that, but they'll go about it a much smarter way. There, it was just like it was. You know those like the scenes from movies. Like I can almost compare it to Step Brothers when he's trying to bury him and he's still alive. and you're like, you can just one of us would just get out of the hole while the other dude's trying to throw dirt on us. And instead, Will Ferrell just sits in the hole. He's like, "Are you burying me alive?" And he's like, "Yeah, your mom's not gonna know where you're at," or blah blah blah. It's like that. It's like, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Like, that's really obvious what you're doing, and they just do it anyway. Like, it's really stupid the way that people go about stabbing each other in the back there. But anyway, yeah. But it got to the point where even as a bar back, I could do whatever the fuck I wanted to. Like, I was in the back getting ice, and it was during like a fraternity at one of the colleges rented out the entire bar for a few hours, because that was the thing that we would do, is like, if the money was enough, they would rent out the entire bar. The bartenders and the barbacks hated it because college kids don't tip for shit. But I was in the back getting ice for one of the coolers, and this kid walks in, and I'm like, "Hey man, sorry, this is employees only." He's like, "I'm employees only," and I was like, "No, you're not." And I pushed him back and I closed the door. Then I go back to getting ice, and he tries to come in again. I'm like, "Kid, I told you, this is for employees only." He's like, "I'm an employee." I'm like, "No, you're not. I know everybody that works here." And I pushed him out and closed the door. Then I heard him say, "Well, fine then, fuck you." And then he said the N-word. And I was like, absolutely the fuck not. So I came out, I saw him walking, I went and I grabbed him by the fucking collar and grabbed his arm, and like a cartoon, I threw him out of the bar. Like, there was a little like stoop in front of the building. I literally threw him down the stairs like a fucking movie. And I walked back, and he must have been pissed because he probably rented that tux, but still. And I walked back, and one of the managers was like, "What was that all about?" And I turned to him, and I was like, I was getting ice. He wouldn't leave me alone. He called me the N-word. I threw him out. And the manager was like, "Okay, fair," and just went about his day. Like all he wanted to know was like what the situation was. He didn't question what I did at all after that. Like, he was like, "All right, cool." So yeah, it's crazy how it was crazy how much like people would start trusting you when they saw that you had common sense in situations. And yeah. And I thought, like, there was one time where I thought I was gonna get arrested because I got in a fight with that college kid, because the general manager fucking swung on the college kid, because he like got in his face and he was cussing him out and shit. And my general manager, that was the same night the Mongols came through, so we're already stressed the fuck out. We had these other fucking women get mad because we turned them away because their ID was fake. Yeah. So like it was in like these 5 black girls were threatening to jump my general manager because, and what's funny is like the girl was trying to use the excuse that she worked for like the DMV or something, or like some federal or state thing that validated licenses, and that they were going to, but then she turned around and said that she was going to jump the general manager for not letting her into the bar. So he was really stressed. Obviously I was really stressed, and I didn't see who swung first, but somebody said that the general manager swung first. And I was like standing there, I was like, "Oh shit." Like, I was like literally right next to them fighting. I was like, "Ooh." I was like, "Damn, dude, that sucks." I was like, and then I was like, "Oh fuck, I'm the head of security." Like, I gotta do something about this. So I backed up 2 steps, and I like Superman punched this kid in the fucking face. And then it was like on from there. Then I was his problem instead of the 5'4" fucking general manager fighting him. He's got this 6'1" dude. And I was fighting the kid, and I thought he had hit me at some point, because I was like, all right, I got a lot of adrenaline running. Like, you know, it feels kind of like my lip might be swelling, but not really. Whatever. But I got to finish this out. And I was hitting him, and I would just keep trying to break his nose, because I know as soon as I broke his nose, he would stop swinging because his nose would hurt too bad. because no matter how drunk you are, like stubbing your toe, you're gonna fucking react to it. And the kid just wasn't fucking reacting, so I just kept hitting him in the nose over and over and over again. And it got to the point where everybody on the street had stopped and was starting to take out their phones and try to record the fight. I'd gotten like halfway to the other side, and it had gotten to the point where he was on the opposite sidewalk of the bar, and I was like, all right, like this is probably far enough. Like he's a kid. Um, so I stopped and I was like, "Are you gonna hit me or what?" And he went to swing again. Fucking went below my like where he swung. His hand went below like my right armpit. So I grabbed his arm and fucking uppercutted his fucking nose, and then just walked away. And I walked back to the bar. I walked back. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing is I wasn't trying to get a lawsuit because yeah, you're not it like no it, in certain states there's certain rules you yeah like if which is like in public. Like if somebody broke into my house right now, I could shoot them in the face. So it's so weird. But the issue is that if I had, which I was very capable of just like fucking putting him in a chokehold and knocking him out. But if I had done that, he could have claimed that he got brain damage from lack of oxygen and come back and sued me. Because Louisiana is very sue happy. Like if you ever come to New Orleans, you'll see like 100 fucking lawyer signs on the side of the highway because everybody is looking to get money from that. So I had to fist fight him. But like I walked away and I was about to go back to the bar, and apparently the one of the kids that was with him, again in his group, caught a stray from the general manager and got hit in the face. And that kid was ready to fight, and the general manager was like trying to calm him down. And he's like, I don't care if you have 100 pounds of me, I'll fucking kill you. And you know that sound that sound in movies, like where like it's almost like the lights like dimming. It's like that was the exact sound that went through my brain when I heard that, and I stopped. And I was like, I will fight another motherfucker right now, dude. I'm so fucking mad. And my general manager was like, had to like come up to like face to face, was like, go take a break. He was saying go take a break up until that point. He had to get like right up to me and be like, go take a break. And I was like, all right. So I like had to walk inside and go like fucking sit in the break room for 15 minutes and calm down because I was about to fucking fight everybody. I was so mad that I was mostly pissed off because my fucking hat got stolen. Because it's like in cowboy culture, you're not supposed to fight with your cowboy hat on. So I threw it on the ground, and I thought my nephew would pick it up, but somebody walked past and fucking took it. And that was a really expensive fucking cowboy hat. It depends on what you want. It depends on what you want. The hat I have now, which was made by the same guy that made my other hat, was about $600. Yeah, the thing is like if you buy a cowboy hat, you usually cowboys don't make a lot of money. Cowboys, that's why I ended up doing aviation instead of cowboying out of high school, or out of the Marine Corps, because generally what happens is you get paid or not paid, you get paid minimum wage because you're provided a house and you're provided with certain amenities, even if they're like the worst amenities in the world, you get provided a house, so you don't have to pay rent. So you get paid minimum wage. But cowboys will save up and buy the best cowboy hat that they can, because they will have that hat probably for the extent of their life.
I get that. Yeah, it's once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the fact that I lost that hat really fucking pissed me off. But I have a hat made by the same guy out of Georgia, sitting in the living room. It's not like I used my cowboy hat there because it's a Western bar. And like I'd go outside and like trick rope, and you know, you'd have drunk girls come up and be like, "Can you rope me?" And it's like, "Yeah, sure, dude." And I would get tips that way, because I was trying to teach the other bouncers how to do that, so that they could make tips. Because we didn't get tips. Like they cut the tips for the bartenders and the bar backs, but the bouncers wouldn't get tipped for anything. So I was trying to come up with ways for everybody to make more money than what they were making. And I was like, oh, I can trick rope. It's a Western bar. How cool is it to see somebody trick roping outside of a Western bar? You know, it kind of more legitimizes it and makes people come in. It brings eyes to the bar. And eventually, like, I made a roping dummy and stuff like that. I'm sure that's fucking dead now, but, you know, it brought a lot of people in. So, yeah, it's advertising. So I used stuff that I learned growing up in like actual Western culture and took it to this bar and like really helped out the bar. And you know, that's another reason that they liked me there. I just hate my job now because the people there, like, they make it so difficult to do the simplest shit. And it's already difficult enough because there's so many things that you have to be careful about when working in aviation in order to make sure that the engines work correctly and aren't going to, like, I don't know, make a plane fall out of the sky. So to add shit on top of it, it's so stupid. The shit that they get hung up on is so dumb. One guy got mad because we didn't have any, like, he's on Facebook all day. On a government computer, and he got written up for doing that, and he put in a complaint with the union for him getting written up because we didn't, and he was right, like we didn't have any work because engine management is probably the biggest problem in that shop. So engine management didn't have an engine for us to work on, so everybody was just kind of sitting around. But he added that he was on Facebook, and that's why he got written up. And it's like, dude, you can't be on Facebook, period. If you were just sitting around, yeah, that would be a legitimate argument. But because you said, oh, and I was on Facebook, we can't fight that. Yeah, dude. And that's the thing. Well, we don't have signal. We don't have good signal there. But you can just walk outside and do that. He just wants to sit on the computer all day and be on Facebook. It's not about the work, it's about him wanting to be lazy. So like they focus on like the complete wrong shit all the time. And I don't understand why. Like I brought it to, like, they just made up a bunch of rules about being able for the company to be able to suspend you for 5 days if you do something with no pay. I'm like, that's fucked up, but I don't see them using that unless you have like 2 or 3 offenses first. And he was getting all uppity about it and stuff like that because he already has a write-up. And I was just like, dude, like does it really, like, then don't fuck up, you know? Like that's not something that we can really fight because it's across every fucking station. But the issue, like, I brought up an issue that we have these engines that combined with the trailers are like 4,000 pounds, and we have to move them around by hand. So I went to Mike because somebody else had brought it up. Somebody who's like competent with this shit brought it up. I'm like, you're right. Like, that's wrong. And I brought it up to Mike, and Mike's like, well, let's look in the book. Like, what does it say in the book? It doesn't say anything about pushing an engine by hand. And Mike's like, oh, well, like, it's common sense. It's common sense. I'm like, I'm like, I just tried to push an engine up by the front gate, and had that engine came back down, it could have crushed 2 or 3 people on that fucking engine. There needs to be a rule for that. And he's like, all right, well, the fix is gonna be like for everybody to get license on each crew in order to pull an engine. I was like, okay, and it's taken them 2 months to implement that. So for 2 months, other people who don't know about this whole situation going on have been pushing engines around. So that now I have to bring that up as a grievance to them. That they need to put it in paper. He's like, oh, we already have like all this bureaucracy. Like we don't need another piece of paper. I'm like, no, we do. Like you can't sit here and harp on us that we're not being safe and write people up and suspend them for 5 days because they're not being safe, and then not put safety in for yourself. You're fucking yourself and the company by not doing that. That's a lawsuit. So
I got you, Justin.
like they just don't understand. They don't understand how things are supposed to work, and I don't get how they don't understand because they've been doing this for like 40 years. There's one of the crews has like fucking 300 years. Yeah, I get that too. But like one of the crews has like somewhere between like something like 150 years combined experience on these engines, and they just don't like they don't know certain things. Like they're very good when it comes to like ordering parts, like knowing what each part on the engine's called, nomenclature, procedure, stuff like that. But when it comes to stuff like leadership, it's just not there. Like there was another issue where one of my coworkers, who I've told routinely, I'm like, if you get brought into the office for any reason, ask for representation. It doesn't matter if he says you're not getting written up or whatever. Ask for representation because I'm the union rep. And he's like, okay. So he's going over to like there was a tool that was out that shouldn't have been out, and he's getting brought into the office to talk to the site supervisor, and I hear him say, do I need my union rep? And the site supervisor was like, oh no, that's not necessary, whatever. The site supervisor saying that is fucking illegal as hell, because it says in the union law that's written federally that if somebody asks for representation, regardless of the outcome of what happens, you have to give that person representation. And he just bypassed it, so I got fucking pissed. And I knocked on the door, and I knocked with my knuckle, but I knocked fucking hard. And that scared him. And he's like, oh, you're being aggressive. I'm like, no. Like, I understand, like, I'm sorry that I scared you because I knocked on a door a little too loud, but you have to, like, you just broke the law. And I'm not going to have that. So if you're going to bring people in, and they ask, because they have to ask for union representation, then they have to have union representation, or else I'm going to go to the head office with it. Because I don't want to see anybody fired either. Like, I don't want to get somebody fired because they're being fucking dumb. But maybe they just don't know. So I'm giving him a chance to not do that.
Green. Okay, here comes your first time lap.
But like after that, he asked everybody if they wanted union representation. Every person he brought into the office, he's like, do you want your union rep? Do you want your union rep? I'm like, you don't have to do that. They have to do that. But thank you. Like, I appreciate you asking that. So it's just like shit like that. Like if you're the site supervisor and you've been in a union before, that is something you know. So either you're trying to fuck me over, or you're trying to fuck them over. But that is something that you can't cover your ass on witnesses. So like it's shit like that I just don't understand how they don't know better. And part of it is they do know better and they're trying to protect the company. And part of it is they straight up just don't have a fucking grasp of the legality of what they're doing. And there's like a bit there. Yeah, you losing the contract would be terrible for the company. It doesn't affect us at all. It doesn't affect the workers at all because we're covered by the union. So if another company comes through, yeah. No. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. on the brand. Reminding me of that just fucking pissed me off.
There's the flag. It's over.
Sorry. Damn, I did not qualify well. But no, like that's the shit that's why I liked working at the bar, because I could tell somebody something and they would understand what I was. If they didn't understand, I could explain it more, and if I couldn't explain it more, they would understand it once I did it. Like when I did things with people, like it would click. So I have the wrong fucking file. But alright, I'm gonna jump over to my other Discord because I got a lot of shit I gotta work on today. But I did want to catch up with you guys and talk to you guys, and you know, I'm still here. If you guys have like an alternate game that you're all playing, like I'll set time aside to come over and like fucking play it with you guys, because that'd be fun too. Okay.
I don't have Space Marines, but I do have Battlefield Revenge.
Okay. We could probably play Helldivers at some point. Like, my girl's gone for a month, so I'm gonna have a lot of time on my hands. So I'll probably catch up with you guys, but.
In weekends, I do have a lot of time evenings.
Okay. Okay.
One lap to
Yeah,
green.
just
You'll
let
be
me know
lining
when you're
up on the
free.
inside.
I'll
Pit
probably
road is
like
closed right now.
give you my schedule or something, because I run in a
The
bunch of
estimated
different
strength of
fucking
field is
racing leagues,
1,627.
and then scattered throughout the week. But
Good luck,
I do
guys.
have,
Long
like,
race,
a lot
nice
of
and
weekends,
easy.
So I'll message you about it. All right, guys. You have a good
Stop,
day.
please.
Later.
5 cars left to grid.
Oh, that's why.
You're experiencing some network difficulties. If it continues, they may remove you from the session. Still waiting on 2 cars to grid. You have 2 additional sets of tyres during this race. Have a good race.
What the fuck, bro?